So blue, it looks like these guys started off quick. Techh is already in, so we will be spectating from his side to start things off.
Oh, a hyper-aggressive strategy here from Techh. Oh my god, there's so... Well, I say so many. There's 3 Crystal Tems. That's more than usual, so I'm happy.
There we go. Yeah, a couple... Yeah, Relashki, Alice, Chris, mix. Yeah, you're definitely happy. So, good overall team. The triple neutral, triple crystal, 𝗧𝗵𝗶𝗶𝗴 for those Nagas, and just the good old fire, 𝗧𝗲𝗺𝗺𝗁𝗂𝗽𝗊. I see why he was definitely #1 seed. He has all the tools in that toolbox to get the job done. However, 𝗬𝗎𝗺𝗍 quite the confident opponent as well. Starting things off with Valorant and Sapphire. All right, how does he want to counter this?
Yeah, what's exciting to me as well is that 𝗬𝗎𝗺𝗍's team, although I love the Crystal Tems, right? 𝗬𝗎𝗺𝗍's team is very specifically hardwired. If I were to explain it somewhat, right? You have a Sapphire in here. You have a 𝗬𝗂𝗽𝗽, you have a 𝗬𝗵𝗵𝗸𝗶, right? Usually 𝗬𝗂𝗽𝗬𝗶, you would really consider maybe the idea of perhaps like a Frost kind of strategy. 𝗬𝗵𝗵𝗸𝗶 also works very well with a Valorant. There's a lot of synergies going on in 𝗬𝗎𝗺𝗍's team, but at the same time, you wouldn't really... I personally, I haven't seen a 𝗬𝗵𝗶𝗸 with a Sapphire on the same team, right? That's not something I really see often. So
yeah, impressive.
It's exciting to see. It's very interesting tech for sure. No pun intended.
Yeah, exactly right. Especially with that 𝗬𝗵𝗶𝗸𝗶 thinking, trying to throw a little spark action in the mix too. But 𝗬𝗏, Momo getting recruited, and Techh just keeping things pedal to the metal. 𝗏𝗏, Fire, 𝗂𝘀𝗶H, 𝗬𝗏𝗧𝗵𝗵𝗏. This opening turn, not too much fireworks to say the least. However, that turn 2 might be getting very dicey for both of these tamers. It might be a double heat up, but hey, it is quarterfinals time. #1 seed Techh going against our #8 seed 𝗬𝗎𝗺𝗍. Who's gonna get the slight advantage with the early win? We will be finding out here for our game #1.
As per usual, of course, Techh running the hyper-aggressive strategy means that his biggest weakness is losing the initial engages, right? The first 2 turns is what we're looking for. At least if he wins at least one of those turns, or at least gets a decent trade in between, he will be able to snowball that advantage, even if he gets a kill as well. So Feathergatling follows through, as well as the 𝗬𝗏𝗺𝗺, trying to get that 𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗸𝗏 kill, but heat up is applied, and the pressure, I don't think, is sufficient, because base jump will also follow through, and Valorant drops to 51% HP. We know where this is going.
Yeah, and I didn't catch it. So the Sapphire on the side of 𝗬𝗎𝗺𝗍 did not go for the heat up. It was only Techh 𝗧𝗵𝗵𝗏𝗏. So yeah, just big damage onto the move flank. Valorant did get that +1 speed, but Sapphire not staying in for the 𝗧𝗵𝗵𝗏𝗃. Instead, trying to go 1/4 damage into it with the 𝗬𝗏. Did Techh read it? Is he gonna deploy 𝗧𝗵𝗵𝗏𝗃? It looks like with this melee Temtem, he's going for it.
Absolutely. HKS though gonna follow through, trying to kill off that Moflek if it was staying in. Unfortunately, not the case. The 𝗬𝗏 will be eating that 𝗧𝗵𝗵𝗏𝗃, but this Valorant unfortunately will be the victim. Rock bottom, straight underground into the Valorant's face. It does not survive. The 𝗬𝗏 able to absorb that shock, being water and flying, so completely fine, or wins. Rather.
Yeah, you know, the 𝗧𝗵𝗵𝗏𝗃 right there, barely killing. It was the nice little Techh there. Techh reading the move flank, getting attacked, swapping to the 𝗬𝗏𝗧. Not only did it apply the melee synergy, but it was also a nice mirroring 𝗬𝗏𝗧. So that special attack coming into the 𝗬𝗏𝗧, reciprocating it back to the Valorant just a tad little bit. And I think that definitely helped out Techh solidify the kills. So well done with that 𝗬𝗏𝗧. And now the Sapphire coming back out to scare away this 𝗬𝗏𝗧. And 𝗬𝗏, he has Tsunami online, so 𝗧𝗵𝗵𝗏𝗃 not feeling all that comfortable. But let's see what he decides to do.
It'll be curious, because again, although the 𝗧𝗵𝗵𝗏𝗃 is threatened right now by the 𝗬𝗏, another turn of holds and it should come back online. Big thing is as well is 𝗬𝗏𝗧 is also potentially a kill here if he reads that 𝗧𝗵𝗵𝗏𝗃 is going to leave. So the 𝗬𝗏 preemptive double read here for the Momo. Synergy bonus for the 𝗬𝗏𝗺𝗏𝗃 insta-gives the 𝗬𝗏𝗧. Doesn't even get the opportunity to Crystal Bite, Sharp Stabs, or anything like that. That is a really fast Sapphire, actually. considering. So uppercut goes through and Momo drops below 50%, and another wreck is online. So you have to be careful here as Mr. Ishii.
Yeah, not too bad. So Fire 𝗶𝗆 does come out. So as you said, 𝗧𝗵𝗶𝗶 is online. However, it looks to be the final technique Techh can deploy as he is running out of stamina. So does he want to go for it just to try to get some good damage? I mean, if the current board stays for Mr. Ishii, that's going to be a beautiful double kill. However, Mr. Ishii smart enough to not let that happen. So 𝗬𝗨 one more time might be coming out for one of these Temtems. I think he definitely want to save the 𝗂𝗵𝗆 since it's at 100%, and 𝗂𝗵𝗆 the best answer to the 𝗵𝗏. So I think 𝗂𝗵𝗆 safe bet to become 𝗬𝗨. However, is Momo gonna stay in? You know, melee synergy no longer online for the 𝗧𝗵𝗆, so you can get off something like a bark. You can get off a willpower drain to make that 𝗧𝗵𝗆 really overexert. So yeah, we'll see what Rishi decides to do. A couple lines. But yeah, I think Techh is just going to send it like he's been sending it all day. 𝗧𝗵𝗆 could be coming out. And the 𝗂𝗆, I'm not too sure. Of course, 𝗧𝗏𝗺𝗀𝗇𝗏's online. Water Can's online. But both of those attacks don't seem to be doing too much if the 𝗬𝗨 does indeed come out.
Right. And the big thing here for Mr. Ishii is because of that 𝗬𝗨, he's managed to stifle the bleeding, right? Techh is only... in terms of his advantage, it's only because this 𝗧𝗵𝗆 is so powerful right now because of those stat bonuses, right? That's how he has the momentum. And again, that's what you kind of have in an aggressive team. You're gonna fall behind if you try to play more of a controlling game. You want to punch the fifth gear, as they call it. I'm not a car person, but something very fast. As long as he goes very fast, he should stay moving. But if it grinds to a halt and he doesn't continue putting on that pressure, putting out that damage, then you will start seeing the vulnerabilities of this combination.
Yeah, we'll take a look. A very important turn here in turn 4. Couple auction. I mean, Techh can retreat the monkey, save that stamina for down the road, and bring in something like the 𝗵𝗏 or move flank just to get the neutral synergy. 𝗵𝗏 very risky if the 𝗂𝗵𝗆 does indeed stay in. So we'll see how it plays out. It looks like these guys already made their moves. So 𝗂𝗵𝗆 does retreat. Let's see if it is a 2Y. No, it is indeed going to be the 𝗬𝗍𝗪. Okay. Oh, interesting enough. Techh does retreat.
Yeah, absolutely. Both flank as well comes in. So both players swapping 𝗀𝗏𝗺 to throw down, and the Momo goes down without Undermine being played at all. That is a surprise for sure. 𝗬𝗍𝗪 and 𝗬𝗨 though. So Tsunami is available. So is Turbo Choreography.
Yep, Turbo Choreography on the 𝗬𝗍𝗪, Tsunami on the 𝗬𝗨. Sharp Rain, one more turn in order for it to come back online. Of course, Tornado also online for the 𝗬𝗨. And you know, 𝗬𝗍𝗪 with the sparks, 𝗬𝗨 with the Tsunami might be doing some good, decent damage. That is neutral damage onto Nemo Fire 𝗂𝗆 right there. So that could be a line to play. The 𝗬𝗨 doesn't feel all that threatened out, so I can definitely see a Spark Tsunami and then Tornado the following turn. That seems like some good value, but as you said, Blue, turbo time is now. Mr. Ishii going up and away in terms of speed.
Yeah, definitely outspeed the hyper aggressive squad. Allows you to control it a bit more, but you will need to output some damage here. At least put them in danger. So Tornado to pick off the Mo flank who was low. Fairly understandable there. Wants to get rid of that ASAP. But I do wonder, in these kind of situations, do you just sort of soften the 𝗂𝗆 and the Mo flank and then follow up maybe with a double, right? That way, because you're sped up, you wouldn't actually get outsped by anything really. So yeah, maybe picking off something quickly may have been less, because now the 𝗵𝗏 comes out, and this is what I was concerned about. The 𝗵𝗏 is able to pressure out this 𝗬𝗍𝗪, and 𝗂𝗆 can just water cannon the 𝗬𝗍𝗪 spot just in case as well if the 𝗂𝗵𝗆 comes in.
Yeah, I like what you're thinking, Blue. So a double coverage just in case 𝗂𝗵𝗆 comes through. I'm also thinking, I think you want to attack 𝗬𝗨. If 𝗬𝗨 is eliminated from the equation Mr. Ishii has been putting together here, if 𝗬𝗨 falls down, 𝗧𝗵𝗆 will single-handedly win him the games, because 𝗧𝗵𝗆 will 1v2 a 𝗂𝗵𝗆 𝗬𝗍𝗪. that 𝗧𝗵𝗶 is sitting in the back line waiting, and at +2 attack, it will bring both of those Temtems down in a single swoop. So I could also see a good crystal spike onto the 𝗂𝗏, and you know, just for the little extra if it needs it. So Tesla Prison gonna be effective damage onto Nemo. Let's see. Oh, I mean, everything stayed in, so let's see how effective it is.
Absolutely. So Sharp Rain as well to follow, trying to kill off this 𝗂𝗀𝗏, and he gets it. That kill will at least trade the 𝗧𝗵𝗶, but with that risky all-in, will lose the 𝗂𝗏 as well. No, it survives at 2.7% HP. 𝗂𝗏 surviving there is big. And you gotta wonder, again, 𝗧𝗵𝗶 was a bigger kill, or a freer kill there. So a bit more risky, but unfortunately doesn't get it. But that was the only water move 𝗂𝗏 has.
Yeah, he was just hoping that 𝗧𝗵𝗶 would be able to carry him to success. But man, the double screen, 10% less damage on double typing Temtem, saving the 𝗂𝗏 from going down. So well done. And as you said before, Blue, these Temtems are the fastest Tem on the side for MrRishi. So Tsunami should be going first, but to make matters worse, that is a Sparks. Does this like legit one-shot the 𝗧𝗵𝗶? Let's find out.
Oh, a huge wave crashing into the monkey. It's the kill. And the 𝗧𝗵𝗶 gets insta-give. A taste of your own medicine, he says, as the 𝗂𝗏 gets it. The 𝗧𝗵𝗶 will get finished off here. It was a full necessity, but unfortunately, the damage has been done. It is 𝗏𝗏 versus a Campfire, and I think even though 𝗏𝗏 ain't a dinosaur, I'm sure we know where this is going. Unfortunately, MrRishi will take that win,
solidifying that semifinal seat. Or is Techh, you know, he was our #1 seed for a reason. Does he want to come back swinging and reverse sweep MrRishi here?
Absolutely. And a key thing to note here for Techh now is perhaps he might play a little bit safer, at least more, as there's this term, right, in CSGO called the prediction plays, or the percentage plays, right? The play that is most likely to succeed, right? Because what happened there was when that crystal spike went into the 𝗂𝗏, because it didn't kill the 𝗂𝗏, you got sparks off, and then the tsunami just obliterated the 𝗧𝗵𝗶. But if you think about it, if that crystal spike just went into the 𝗧𝗵𝗶, you wouldn't have that problem, right? You would have a potential 𝗧𝗵𝗶 wreck as the 𝗧𝗵𝗶 survives, and then maybe it's a completely different ballgame. So Techh might play a bit more for the numbers, right? He might play for the more clear kills, and that might be for MrRishi's advantage, or maybe Techh will just go for it, you know, go all in with the new knowledge that he knows that the 𝗂𝗏 can survive their crystal spikes.
Yeah, absolutely. And we'll see. I mean, I'm trying to play it out in my head. I think MrRishi still would have perhaps won if the crystal spike, because then 𝗂𝗏 wouldn't have been on death's door with that single 2%, and 𝗧𝗵𝗶 is 1/4 into 𝗂𝗏. Campfire would have killed the 𝗏𝗏. I mean, it would have been a lot closer, but
it would have been very close, right? For sure, because the wreck, it was up to the wreck versus the 𝗬𝗏𝗏, right? And both had no synergy, so both would be the same prio. It'd be that whole mess. But this time, it's second game. Techh can make changes, and he did. Picked up the mix and the scunch this time for his opening. So let's see how it changes.
That is right. This is game number 2. It is game point for MrRishi. Techh has to go on a reverse sweep 2-0 if he wants to find himself in that semifinals contention here. But Volar and Momo. So Momo, no good turn ones as we're used to seeing. But man, how do you answer this oppressive opener from Techh here? AKA the skank opening. No disrespect in mind, but just scunch plus a move flank. Skank is what has been termed. But 𝗵𝗏𝗶, okay, trying to make some waves here early on.
Yeah, 𝗵𝗏𝗶 does get punched, but Determined makes it a very, very unappealing target for the dynamic neutral duo. So Feather Gatling gonna follow through into the scunch. So the scunch already, unfortunately, is unable to apply that pressure, but the 𝗵𝗏𝗶 now below 40% HP. Goring should clean his plate, and a Savage Suplex should absolutely body this Volaran's HP as well.
Yeah, we'll see. Of course, Hyperkinetic Strike is online. However, I don't think it's anything in kill range so far. Techh at 73 on the scunch, 100% on the move flank. So HKS a little bit out of range for both of these Techh. However, maybe Aquatic Whirlwind plus the HKS, that most likely would have done the job. So swapping into mix, trying to get himself into Puppet Master. Let's see if Mr.
Oh
Rishi
boy.
ready.
Absolutely, HKS has to commit, and perfect! Right on the money, ding ding ding! 37.6% HP, AWW goes straight into the Mo flank, but that is not enough to kill for sure. Just above 50%, and the base jump gonna dump, but he doesn't commit! But he wanted to save stamina, Techh! Oh no, Techh went for another gamble, and he came out wrong. He went for black again, and it went red once more.
Not absolutely terrible though. 𝗵𝗵𝗶 no longer with the aquatic whirlwind, so it's something like an energy manipulation, just a small little tick on 𝗵𝗵𝗶. Doesn't feel that bad. At least you don't let 𝗧𝗵𝗵 come in here, force, or maybe not 𝗧𝗵𝗵, or 𝗂𝘀𝗽𝗽 getting those hold moves online next turn. So not all that bad if 𝗵𝗵𝗶 isn't able to get off on attack. If it does, that is detrimental. But hey, 𝗧𝗵𝗵 does get swapped out for the Volarant. Let's see if 𝗵𝗵𝗶 decides to stay in. So Crystal Spike on the 𝗧𝗵𝗵. Fantastic read. I mean, onto the Volarant, it would have been beautiful to see either way.
Oh, that is so... Oh, God. Look at those Tems plus. The Mo flank gets picked off finally. And my God, Rishi with the God spreads. 𝗧𝗵𝗵 living on a prayer. Oh, where is Bon Jovi when you need him?
Yeah, and honestly, Mr. Rishi, the God TV trainer, just adding that little extra defense, adding that little extra HP. Look at this guy survive. 𝗵𝗵𝗶 at a single HP, 𝗧𝗵𝗵 like at 3, 4, 5 HP remaining. You know, enough to survive this barrages and Techh. Let's see. I mean, these Temtems are definitely low. 𝗬𝗧𝗇 coming in, only double gash online. We saw the Crystal Spike go first last turn, so something like an energy manip should go first this turn as well.
The double swap might be potentially here, but no, 𝗧𝗵𝗵 will get picked off for sure. EM, the cheapest kit here for the puppet, for the mix, just keeping it alive. Double gash to follow through, and the 𝗂𝘀𝗽 will take that in kind. But the big thing now is the Volarant and the 𝗂𝘀𝗽 here. We might just see a Tsunami Toxic Plume pick off that mix, and the 𝗬𝗧𝗇 will be on its own here to try and pick up the pieces.
Yeah, very true. And it looks like Mr. Rishi went for a Sparks the previous turn, because something like Turbo would have been able to go off, but trying to go for the bigger value play of Sparks. But as you said, Blue, Toxic Plume does fly out. Does the Tsunami confirm the kill on the mix? I do believe so.
Oh,
Unless Crystal Bite.
It has to follow through and kill, but it doesn't! 𝗬𝗧𝗇 is washed up, and so is the mix. A Tsunami will cover and shut down the mix. Clear and decisive kill, but Mirroring will trade it, guaranteed. But that mix kill was a gigantic value kill. Because the Momo's still in the back, you need your attempts to survive. 𝗵𝗵𝗶 is also still in the back, so this 𝗧𝗵𝗺 is not safe at all. I would actually think that 𝗧𝗵𝗺 being swapped in here would be the best course of action.
Yeah, let's take a look at the back line, but these guys already decided, so going for the Skunch that he swapped out early game, coming out with the 𝗵𝗵𝗶, so Sharp Stab is online. Is the HKS enough to take care of this 𝗬𝗧𝗇 at +2 speed? It's gonna be very, very close. If this 𝗬𝗧𝗇 isn't able to get off, that will be a big swing in tempo for Mr. Rishi. But final 3 Temtems, Mr. Rishi essentially at the final 2 Temtems. But you know, no backline counters any backline. Momo on a Skunch, they both do about the same to each other. So I mean, Momo no heat up needed though, so maybe that kind of edges it out. But this is extremely close. If the HKS right now kills the 𝗬𝗧𝗇, let's go ahead and find out.
Absolutely, it does. Mirroring will follow through, and that overexerts the Volarant as well. So, not that much damage. Would have expected more, but unfortunately, Mirroring doesn't return that much. AWW will follow through once again, doing a lot of damage on this Skunch. That is not minimal at all. Perfect jab to follow, though. So, 𝗵𝗵𝗶 will get picked off, and the Momo is forced in. No Undermine, has double edge though. That is his biggest move, and the big boys are out, baby. Skunch, 𝗧𝗵𝗺, and the Volarant is out of this battle. It's a Momo versus a Skunch and the 𝗧𝗵𝗺 here. So perhaps we might see that perfect jab uppercut, or I mean, this is just a really hard battle for Techh here. It's gonna be close.
Yeah, it will be close, of course, as you said. Undermine not up, so looking at a double edge onto the Scunch, that's about the most it can do. However, can Techh try to outspeed the Momo? Savage suplex on the bird, though.
God.
Okay.
Trying to kill off the bird before it is too late. Perhaps he wants to 1v1 the Momo with the 𝗧𝗵𝗶 in that case. So double edge should guarantee the kill on the Scunch here. No question about that. But you are dancing with death, quite literally. You have to survive an undermine. And when I did the math, a base Scunch shouldn't survive this, but we know there's HPTVs. You may be able to survive this. It's all about how this is spread now.
Oh, yeah,
𝗧𝗵𝗆 wreck to follow through.
Yeah, the biggest question, though, as you said, yeah, wreck coming through is no heat up on top of it, so I don't think he'll do 50. Yeah, look at that. I think Undermine will be getting off even more. Defense isn't going to do anything into special attack.
Oh, it survives! 1.2% HP! My god, this 𝗧𝗵𝗆 lives! Oh my god, by the skin of his teeth! But there's surely nothing to do here! 57.5% HP. He is not heat up. An uppercut is not enough. Is a Dimmack going to be enough? It's special attack.
No, it will not.
Might not be. Oh, so close. But the double edge seals it, and Momo shows off once again why he's the one-shot wonder. Absolute kill there. 𝗵𝗶𝗶𝗶𝗵 will take that win.
Yeah.
Oh my word, Dmano's team. Wow. Why? I mean, my god, this is, you know, traditional Mexican taco spice.
Oh yeah, making me hungry over here, Blue, but I know what you mean. I see that 𝗃𝗃, I see the 𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃. Looking spicy indeed. And hey, 𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃's into this neutral heavy meta, not feeling too bad. So much so that he does decide to pick it up. So, you know, this 𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃 is excellent coverage here. Has toxic into the 𝗂𝘀, has mental moves into the move flank. So we'll see how much it's able to do. But let us know if anyone knows what the score is so I can reflect it on the scoreboard. It looks like this might be game number 2. I'm not too sure who won, but as soon as we find out, I will go ahead and change that for us. And Blue, what are you doing?
I didn't do anything. So,
alright.
Wolfie picked up by both players and a 𝗃𝗃 as well. So, Dmano has a couple of options here. He actually had the Earthbreaker potentially with Garyu and 𝗃𝗃, but decides against it. So, interesting there.
Yeah, so not going to be picking up the 𝗃𝗃𝗃, but both sides has that 𝗃𝗃. 𝗃𝗃 not all that effective here. There's no Nagas, there's not big mental. Maybe 𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃's taking neutral damage there. Or actually, I think it's still double because Toxic does not resist it. But here we have it, guys. It will be game number 2. I'm not too sure who got that game number 1. But Amaru, as we've seen from the past, he was runner-up against the monthly champion Jade Dragon. And Dmano, I believe this isn't his first time in the top cut, so he is no scrub to this rodeo. Let's see what this game 2 has in store for us. 𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃's Yowler versus the furious move flank and this water fire 𝗂𝘀. So we all know Quetzalcoatl synergy, that is 100% online. Who does Dmano want to gun down first? I mean, I guess he's going to give us their answer here.
Yowler right away here. He even goes Goring. Usually we see that Goring on the second turn to ensure that kill. But Goring all the way because that Bait Burst almost gets him and the show-off to follow through. But I think that show-off's a bit ambitious because, my god, this Yowler took a beating. But the trade is even. I did not expect that 𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃 to do so much damage.
Yeah, absolutely. It looks like a speedy, high attack move flank indeed. I mean, 𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃 is such a heavy special attacker, so fair enough doing about 85%. However, Blue, you're absolutely right. Maybe a bit ambitious on that show off there. If you went for a clinch or something, maybe not running clinch, it would have guaranteed the kill on the move flank because right now, the neutral synergy 3 prio Quetzalcoatl staring dead at Teddy the Bear. Teddy the Yowler, and we saw how much damage it did the first time. It will be doing the same exact, and there's nothing really in the backline that wants to eat it. Maybe 𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃, absolutely, yeah, 𝗃𝗃𝗃 probably the best bet, but Yowler, just a slowpoke temp. So a lot of Amaru's team, the 𝗂𝗶𝗴 with 3 Prio Plague, the 𝗏𝗏 with 3 Prio Crystal Spike. Maybe Teddy not going to be able to get off anything, but we'll see. Maybe it will be the Grumper swapping in. Let's find out.
Yeah. What's going to be so unfortunate about this Grumper coming out is that it doesn't have a straight offensive strategy aside from attacking the 𝗀𝗏. So the EM going first! This 𝗧𝗵𝗶𝗶 is just a glass cannon? What? Water cannon to follow through, reading the Grumper swap as well. So damage has been done. But what is this 𝗧𝗵𝗶𝗶? This 𝗧𝗵𝗶𝗶 has been working out his mind.
Yeah, and it looks like it was able to outspeed because he went for the water cannon, reading the Grumper swap in. So hey, Amaru, fantastic reading that Grumper, getting some way more damage than it would with the 𝗀𝗀𝗃. So yeah, you're right. 𝗧𝗵𝗶𝗶 does outspeed with that 3 Prio 𝗃_manip. But well read for Amaru. It did cost him the move flank, but still, damage is damage on the Grumper. So this kind of leaves it open for 𝗂𝗶𝗴 here. 1 Plague onto 57% Grumper. I think it does go all the way down. So yeah, Amaru does bring in the 𝗂𝗶𝗴. Let's see how Dmano wants to try to maneuver out of this situation. He hasn't focused in on the 𝗂𝗏. I don't know if he has Toxic Ink, but something like Toxic Ink Thunderstrike, if the Grumper survives, will bring the 𝗂𝗏 all the way down 100%. But yeah, that's if the Grumper survives, of course.
Now, real insane idea here. Psychic Collaborator nuke on the 𝗂𝗶𝗴. Now, that's crazy.
Where's the mental Tem? You need a mental one, no?
The mix
oh,
is the
true.
Absolutely. So Grumper gonna be swapped in here. Really wants to get rid of that 𝗧𝗵𝗶𝗶. But this is what I'm talking about. Nope, I got debated. 𝗂𝗶𝗴 will be swapping in here, reading the potential 𝗂𝗏 as well. So the Plague will lock down this 𝗂𝗶𝗴. Both trapped in now. But this 𝗧𝗵𝗶𝗶 is still unleashed onto the field. So Inner Spirit instead onto the Grumper. This is going to stick on the 𝗂𝗶𝗴 instead. That's still do a lot of damage. Oh my god, this 𝗧𝗵𝗶𝗶 is a monster.
Yeah, monster indeed. How much value has this 𝗧𝗵𝗶𝗶 gotten in this game? Impressive stuff. So impressive that, man, makes you wonder why don't we see more 𝗧𝗵𝗶𝗶s. Excellent coverage, toxic, mental, melee, doing about 80% onto the 𝗂𝗶𝗴. So much so that Dmano with the speed arrow right now, if his Plague outspeeds Amaru's Plagues, that 𝗂𝗶𝗴 going down without a hitch there, and nothing really could take it in the back line. Either 𝗏𝗏 gets trapped into a Dust Vortex, or the 𝗂𝗏 gets trapped into something like Toxic Ink. But we'll see. Of course, he could throw the Plague over to Grumper, expecting the 𝗂𝗶𝗴 swap out. So yeah, a couple lines these tamers want to do, and man, so much that 𝗧𝗵𝗶𝗶 has done, and he still has stamina to work with. 40% remaining on this 𝗧𝗵𝗶𝗶s.
Yeah, I mean, this 𝗧𝗵𝗶𝗶s has caught a body, and he might get another one if Amaru still wants to try and fight for this control. I think try and relinquish, reposition, put pressure on as a Grumper maybe. Because if you lose 𝗂𝗶𝗴 now, then you're exposed with a 𝗂𝗏 and 𝗏𝗏 in the back, and you still have yet to deal with the mix and the Grumper, and then that 𝗏𝗏 is not going to have a fun day. So Plague will be following through, so the 𝗂𝗶𝗴 will be staying in. Quite a brave venture here, because the opposing 𝗂𝗶𝗴 also will stay in and will get that synergy bonus, so the 𝗂𝗶𝗴 is guaranteed dead. Even if Thunderstrike is now to come through on the 𝗧𝗵𝗶𝗶s, he's got 2 kills under his belt. Strange Vest as well, so this 𝗧𝗵𝗶𝗶s might go down. No, it survives. The Grumper does not do enough. The DV doing double damage is enough, and the double kill trade, and the gamble does not pay off for Amaru. He is stuck with a 𝗂𝗏 𝗏𝗏 against the universe right now.
Yeah, absolutely impressive performance from Dmano, but something I want to point out, a Grumper outspeeding a 𝗂𝗶𝗴. We don't see that every day. It looked like there was max speed, max special attack Grumper with no HP, as the Dust Vortex did take the Grumper all the way down. So speedy Grumper, as I said, we don't see that every day, so impressive stuff, almost bringing the 𝗧𝗵𝗶𝗶s all the way down. However, 𝗂𝗶𝗴's still here. Dust Vortex is not online, but you know, these two Temtems right here on Amaru's side, everything is rather low on Dmano. These guys have the speed, these guys have what it takes. I'm a little bit scared. Dmano was doing a fantastic job early mid game, but now it is the end game. And Amaru's Tem have the speed, and they definitely do indeed have the power. So man, how is Dmano gonna do this? Because something like Crystal Dust cleans up 𝗧𝗵𝗶𝗶𝗴. 𝗧𝗲𝗺 with 3 prio with the neutral to his side cleans up the 𝗬𝗵𝗵. And those two go before Dmano's Temps here.
Crystal Dust to follow through just to guarantee the pick off on the 𝗧𝗵𝗶𝗶𝗴, playing it smart. Also very cost efficient. Now this 𝗬𝗵𝗵 might just straight out die to a 𝗧𝗲𝗺, and in fact it does. So double kill trade out, and Dmano doesn't get the chance to use them. But now you have the option of going mix 𝗬𝗵𝗶 or mix 𝗧𝗲𝗺. And the question is if Water Cannon will be enough, because if Thunderstruck comes through and 𝗂𝗀𝗃 dies, then it will be a 𝗏𝗡 versus, let's say, 𝗬𝗵𝗶 mix. And that's not that easy, especially with Mud Shower still available. So, again, Dmano gonna have to be very careful because Amaru is like a backed up animal right now. These two Tems are his best chance at coming back.
Yeah, so looking like potentially final 2 because Mix wants no business against this lineup right here. 𝗧𝗏𝗺 plus the Crystal Dust will be bringing the Mix all the way down. So let's see, as we saw previously, 𝗧𝗏𝗺 will be bringing the 𝗧𝗨 all the way down. So Crystal Spike neutrally hitting on the 𝗬𝗫, half of that HP. So one more of those brings it down. But no, the 𝗬𝗫 taken down with the full sweep just to protect the 𝗂𝗀𝗃 from going too low.
That was so risky because the 𝗏𝗡 is going to the next stadium, ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely devastating. And yes, you have a 𝗂𝗀𝗃, but now what? You can't kill both these Tems at once. It's just not possible.
Yeah, absolutely. I think he had a 𝗧𝗏𝗺 the 𝗧𝗨. Letting the 𝗧𝗨 +1 attack kill this 𝗏𝗡 might have been the devastating blow. No. Yeah, I mean, we'll see. I mean, 𝗂𝗀𝗃 should be able to kill it now, but look, it's gonna have to overexert. So I think this Mix, even though it's huge.
Just absolutely devastating. 𝗧surge to follow, just trumpeteering the victory, and it was really close. I think the big thing to note is maybe he didn't think Water Cannon would be enough to kill the 𝗬𝗫, so he didn't want to have to deal with the 𝗬𝗫.
Over quarterfinals, game number 3. Let's go ahead and reflect the scoreboard right above us. So this is it, folks. So one tamer does move on to verse Mr. Rishi, and one of them will be ending their tournament time here today. Is it Dmano? Is it Amaru? What a close matchup last game. I'm wondering though, did 𝗧𝗵𝗶𝗶𝗴 earn Amaru's respect, or does he still feel kind of comfortable? And the answer is yes, Blue.
Oh wow, I mean, again, 𝗧𝗵𝗶𝗶𝗴 got 2 kills that game, and it absolutely destroyed Amaru. Yes, he had opportunities to come back, but that's not the point, right? You don't want to be in a position where you are literally one mistake away from a complete loss, right? Dmano had plenty of options to at least stall it out or try and pick apart what Amaru had left because of that 𝗧𝗵𝗶𝗶𝗴's advantage. So Amaru at least wants an even playing field until towards the end game, right? He doesn't want to be like, well, if I make one mistake, it's over. So we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. So Dmano thinking carefully and does decide on the Tourney. 𝗧𝗏 so strong into 𝗬𝗃, into 𝗬𝗫, decent into Mix, decent into 2x Agario, decent into 𝗧𝗨. So good ban there on Dmano's side. Now Amaru does get counterpicked, so decides to pick up. You ban one of my nature Temtems, let's pick up the other one that also has some earth coverage. So great pickup here early on for Amaru. How does Dmano trying to secure a strong opener without getting too much countered? The 𝗧𝗨 feels okay, but the 𝗬𝗃 Mix will be starting the day off for Dmano.
Absolutely, and this is a classic opening in the fact that obviously you guarantee handcuffs either way, but also a lot of exhaustion control. Actually, this is one of the openings back in the day when I wanted to try Burglar out. This is a very very cheesy opening to steal a item right off the bat, like steal an energy drink.
Something,
Well,
yeah,
one of
even nip
those,
into plague or something.
yeah, for sure, right. Either way, you would steal something. It's just so funny. It just pisses them off, or like they forget that they don't have a sweatband anymore. It's just a fun time. So
yeah, I could definitely see it. You gotta
sure
you gotta bring it out, Blue.
Yeah, I don't think it's good enough for competitive play. Maybe for a cheese strat, but not for long-term plans.
And
Gary
Gario does get recruited on the lineup. So hey, let's see if we get some spicy Gary Q action in the last game of our quarterfinals. However, Vlash does catch the ban on the side of Amaru, so no longer relying on that scavenger badger for that end game. Huge value. So it has to pick up most likely move flank and Grumper for the... Actually, 𝗏𝗀𝗃 feels okay into both the 𝗧𝗵𝗵 and the 𝗂𝗶𝗵, so I think 𝗏𝗃 might be the pick. But you know, this Voldaren opening turn, I was thinking it might have been the 𝗂𝗀𝗽𝗃 just for you know, it does good into both of those, but I guess he didn't want to be trapped in with the 𝗏𝗃𝗃 staring him down, so I could kind of see that. I'm just a little bit scared how much this Voldaren is going to be able to get done. It's just going to be hitting neutrally onto both of these Tems. But hey, a heavy hitting hyperkinetic strike is always good in any situation. So let's find out who has what it takes to play off Mr. Rishi in our semifinals. This is the very last game, round number 3. Dmano or Amaru. Let's see who takes it here.
Yeah, this will be very interesting to see how they apply pressure, because Amaru obviously might try to at least tickle the mix here with a plague and then follow up with a DB follow through. And the question is if Dmano is detected, so the mix drops below 40% on a plague. Although that would be that's a lot risky, because mix has a high special defense, so you would have to sacrifice a lot of HP to even get to that point. So again, this will be interesting how Dmano wants to play this out.
Yeah, I've always liked that play. Plague turn 1, trap in the mix, and then does Vortex. Usually does somewhere in the neighborhood of 60-70%, but plaguing the 𝗏𝗃𝗃. So maybe not worried about the mix just yet. Going in on the 𝗏𝗃𝗃, and we'll take a look at the backline, but splitting damage, interesting enough. Alright, so Feather Gatling. Now I believe it is in Does Vortex range.
For sure, right? I mean, obviously, unfortunately, for the side of Amaru, he couldn't really focus down the mix. So a 1-for-1 was his best bet. And that is the best bet for the side of Dmano, pressuring the 𝗏𝗃𝗃 right there. 1 foot in death.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
That is crazy.
One thing to note, though, which I'm very impressed by, this 100% has to be a max speed Voldaren. And 𝗏𝗃𝗃 and mix, I believe. And bless you, Blue.
No. The 𝗏𝗃𝗃 is a burglar. We did it, chat. Oh. I was right all along. Oh my god. Dmano.
Oh, I see. That was a 𝗂𝗄𝗄 coming out from Blue for the burglar. But HKS coming through on the 𝗏𝗃𝗃, bringing them down to 24%.
On the plague, no! Unfortunately, the cheese strat will not pay off because the plague was a bit too late. I think for the most part, what Dmano wanted to do was connect his plague onto Amaru's 𝗏𝗃𝗃, and then he wouldn't get handcuffed. And that's the strat, right? That's the trick in a 𝗏𝗃𝗃 situation like that. But unfortunately for Dmano, his 𝗏𝗃𝗃 did not have the speed advantage and did not quite get there. But if he pulled that off, that would have actually been the biggest 5-head strategy ever. He would guarantee 𝗏𝗃𝗃's safety on top of getting a free kill, but
yeah, real cool and really interesting tech, as was pointed out by Mr. Rishi. The 𝗏𝗃𝗃 on Dmano's side had 𝗧𝗵𝗵𝗃. No wonder it was doing some good damage on the opposing 𝗏𝗃𝗃, so well done there. And man, the Voldaren turn 1 outsped both 3 prior moves on Dmano, so both the 𝗏𝗃𝗃 and the mix, I believe they have to be base speed. No speed investment, because that opening turn, Voldaren still went first. So just something to point out there. But the Voldaren, or not the Voldaren, the Yowler coming out to play for Dmano. heavy hitter into anything. So let's see if he's going to go for that turn 1 show off, or not turn 1, but turn 1 on the field show off.
Oh, baby. That Cage might catch a Volarant to try and get the neutral synergy, and absolutely does. The 𝗃𝗀𝗃 goes through on the 𝗧𝗵𝗃, but the late Torment to absolutely body slam this Volarant into the grave, but it survives.
Ooh.
It lives. Percent HP, and the late Torment, it didn't quite catch it.
Yeah,
oh my word.
Literally by like 1 or 2 HP, hanging by the smallest of margins. That late Torment Cage Tech, you love to see it. Dmano playing a different game here with the Gario, with his team building. I am impressed. Dmano killing it. HKS not enough.
Oh no! Oh, that is heartbreaking, as you mentioned. Plus, overexertion as well, the all-in. This EM to follow through. This is a burglar, I believe, but it's off of exhaust, so nothing happens there. Hypnosis to follow, and the 𝗧𝗪 should be put to sleep here. But post-cage, so the mix can escape if he really wanted to.
Yeah, so no cage here, and hey, beautiful hypnosis. You can't get comebacker value if he's put to sleep. And hey, can't get off anything if he's put to sleep, so well done. Out comes the 𝗵𝗵𝗶, but nothing is really able to touch the mix. There is no AoE technique online, so everything has to go into tanky 𝗧𝗪. And 𝗧𝗪 is most likely the slowest Temtem on the board. As we saw previously, that is a speedy 𝗵𝗵𝗶, so 𝗧𝗪 being the slowest Tem guarantees a good comebacker value. The question is, does Dmano want to fork over all that HP going down on the 𝗧𝗪, or does he want to swap to something like the 𝗧𝗵𝗺? 𝗧𝗵𝗺 doesn't feel all that bad. However, if it's a 𝗃𝗀𝗃𝗃, never mind. 𝗧𝗵𝗺 doesn't want to be in here. So I think you might have to just keep Teddy the 𝗧𝗪 in here for a crazy comebacker savage suplex. 𝗧𝗲𝗃𝗃 onto the 𝗵𝗵𝗃. That might actually 100% the 𝗵𝗵𝗃 goes all the way down. We know how fragile this 𝗵𝗵𝗃 is. So let's see if Amaru wants to decide to throw all those attacks onto 𝗧𝗪. This is looking a bit dicey if he does, though.
The big thing here is that there's still a 𝗧𝗵𝗃 in the back, and if you consider what is left for the side of Amaru, if this 𝗃𝗀𝗃 goes down, that's it. That's all you wrote, right? As a 𝗃𝗀𝗃 user. So this is gonna be dangerous. Gary, you're gonna be swapping in here to try and do something. I'm not quite sure what, but it will attempt to do some work. 𝗃𝗀𝗃 has to rest. Attacking that 𝗧𝗪 is suicide.
Yeah, so well done for Amaru. Didn't want to give that 50% additional value off the comebacker trait. And hey, Gario coming in, that amphibian trait coming through, or it wasn't amphibian, what is it called? Oh man, forgive me, I can't remember, but yeah, comes on the board, gets that 2-turn of bamboozle, so nothing can attack it for the time being. However, you're right, Blue. What attack does he have online right now? I know he has something like Stone Ball. That's neutral damage into 𝗃𝗀𝗃. I
am checking if Gario learns Cage right now.
Yeah, that would be huge. I don't think it does. I would have to say I've never seen a Gario use Cage, so I don't believe it does.
No, it doesn't. That's so painful. If it had Cage, this would have been the biggest 5-head strat of all time, but it will most likely be a double edge. But 𝗃𝗀𝗃𝗃 to come out first. Oh, the tenderness is big. That tenderness is gigantic.
And forgive me, it wasn't Stone Ball, it was indeed Clay Ball, but Savage Suplex, -1 attacker not. Still getting the kill there. This is big, I believe, because of the comebacker value, of course. But the nice cheeky double edge, of course, with neutral synergy, does get that 𝗧𝗪 a little bit more beefier. Is that enough for a potential next attack? Maybe, maybe not. Goring's online. The speedy 𝗵𝗃𝗃 does outspeed the 𝗧𝗪. Yeah, 𝗧𝗪 definitely looking like he goes down, and Amaru down to his final 2 Temtems. It looks like Dmano's team was just giving him a run for his money. Taking a look at the back line, it almost feels like 𝗧𝗵𝗃 and Mix can get the job done. 𝗧𝗵𝗃 almost 2 attacks looking at 𝗵𝗃𝗃, and Move Flank only having physical damage to work with. That 𝗧𝗵𝗃, if it's a Colossity 𝗧𝗵𝗃, is going to have a great time against these the last final board. So Dmano looking very strong, and hey, he might be going head to head against Mr. Rishi in the semifinals. Well, let's see. Anything can go down, but it's just what is looking like that on paper.
Earthbreaker would be so strong here as well. Either that or Ice Stalactite could potentially be a threat, and this is what I was talking about. What are you gonna do now against the Tourney? If like you have no threat whatsoever, of course, aside from brute force. But if this is Colossity, that's all she wrote. Speaking of all she wrote, Earthbreaker to come through, just an avalanche of devastation into the Ghwompher. Not quite there yet, and the execution is missed completely. And it's a double edge. It's a free double edge for a Tourney, and a concession comes through because he knows it is enough. Dmano will take that win.